August 16, 2024, 9:11 p.m. Update, April 17, 2024, 6:19 a.m. Decay, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston cutting police budget by $8 million by Marcus Giovanni. So the story hasn't hit yet, but it will be. But this gives you an idea where the conversation is now and when all the information hits. But here's us right here. We own City and County of Denver LLC. This is the platform that I saw in 2017, some advanced algorithms that led me to believe that to what other actions I did when I filed the court, February 6th, District Court, Denver District Court, room 414, Judge Andrew Luxon. I filed 2 emergency hearings, and on the last one, the city attorney, Michelle Horn, blasted with glee when I asked about the Spear Amendment that gives us an administration of non-political, not nonpartisan, non-political. You know, I tried to put that push that non-political, so I jumped on the nonpartisanship, and I was a barnacle indexing the whole entire system because I knew that generative AI was going to fix all this. And whoever's doing whatever it is they're doing, they have a chance to embrace artificial intelligence and all the different ways that we can help each other to guard us from ourselves. But when you got a guy like that right there, Mike Johnston, he's a tadpole, man. He's a tadpole. He goes into all the pools and, you know, he's a narcissist, folks. And it's starting to show. And the best thing about it is, you know, he's going to cut $8 million. I thought he was going to hire 600 police agencies. There's not enough police to even cover the illegals that came into this town. Our sheriff department is understaffed, under budget. All their IT equipment is outdated. They're setting us up for a third world country, man, to where our streets are going to be like San Francisco and the same people voting the same thing, and then all the people that want normalcy, where all the crime's going against and all that. See? It's insane. And it's insane, and it's insanism, or being insane, that draws attention to a 6th extinction. Because we haven't learned yet. The animals are dying. Just global warming, period, on global warming. And it cracks me up when I hear valleys wanting to do things for air change. And you're in a valley and most of the stuff's blowing in from other cities and other stuff that blows around the world. And when you're in a valley, that stuff's heavy, and so it's going to sink to the lowest level it can, depending on where it is. But we don't teach our kids anything. We don't teach them nothing. But right now, taking that money, you know, out of, you know, this guy lives in a fantasy. Mike Johnston, where are you from, bro? Because you sure act stupid. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, bro, but we started Google Mayor.com. And we've been trying to get a hold of you, trying to tell you, but you think you're so smart because you're a graduate of whatever school that is. I don't even want to say it because they're embarrassed right now. The ones that know, you're an idiot. If you got a guy like me telling you what's up and what's coming, that's how you know I'm supposed to be here. While everybody else tells you everything else, I'm just here to tell you what needs to be told. Because that is what the metaverse is all about. And right now, if I was mayor, and this is the thing right here, I've already foretold it. Watch this video right here. we would have been getting hundreds of millions of dollars by players that are we identified as bad actors against Denver. Wikipedia is one of them. We've got so much information on indexing them in regards to politics. See, there's certain parts of that beast that collects money and takes it back to another country. Everybody comes to America and make money and then send it back to their family, where we're not getting any of the money that they're supposed to spend to keep all of our shops and businesses open. So nobody's going to the 16th Street Mall in Denver because it's corrupt. They don't get it. So I don't know what it takes for these people or everything to change to why we have to be so ignorant to look at a wall that we're about to smash up into, and we're all just still looking at it. It's right in front of our eyes, and everybody's in denial. But that's how the world turns. But the world in the metaverse, the world to which we've been talking about since 2006, and you got all these young cats that are 40 coming out like they're taking the AI and combining it with metaverse. And it's like, you know what? Shut the fuck up. You guys all learned that shit somewhere, because we were talking about it in 2006, and then the financial stuff happened in 7 and 8. And that takes decades to turn around, folks. And so that new generation comes because they got taught because somebody else was talking about it. And so the people that started it and worked it and had conversation blocks and stuff, they go untold. And so now with what we can do, I resurrect the content just based off of it. Does the content that we had back then, we didn't save all of it like we should have. I mean, I got the copies of my radio shows and stuff, but we used to have it online, but we had to go through our growing pains. And I wanted to see if what I had in my cloud storage would, and it works. This works for everybody. Everybody has it. That's why you got to pick one person. I picked Google. Google been doing this since 2006. All this ecosystem and AI and elemental PE, QRST, all of it. That's why they're A to Z and everything in the middle when it comes to Google. So if you want to do Google and do what you're supposed to, and then integrate YouTube with it, and then keep all, just for me in my metaverse, I don't want to be associated on social channels that can manipulate the algorithm, especially if my website's on, all my contact information is on that page. And that's why people got to start locking that shit down. Other countries aren't doing what we're doing. Other countries are actually laughing the fuck out of us. And I know some people go, oh, fuck them. But some of these countries, when women talk about men, the generation of men, because we have a generation of women that just feel like these 40-year-old women got to tell us how stinky they are and tell us what kind of foo-foo spray they got to spray down on their, and what sugar and spice do you want to be associated with that? When you look at the animal kingdom and the mating and how that goes through, and what some males have to do to even get a chick, man, let alone mate her. Some of them birds, man, they got to jump like 20 feet high, do flips and blow out their necks. And, others get, like if you're a buffalo, you got to go fight for that girl. I mean, you see a lot of buffalo out there, a lot of them chicks. And then the young guys they're not doing those chicks. Only one buffalo guy gets to do all them chicks. Okay? So, anyways, I'm just trying to create metaphors so that when I speak, because I know not only am I recording, but I'm also, my device, my apparatus is also recording the questions and answers that I go back and forth with, because it answers and connects me to other stories that I have somewhere else on another platform that coincides that allows my content to completely look at this is done. This is all under this title, and then everybody will start writing, and then everything will migrate, and that's how it works. But we're in deep doo doo. But you know what? We have City and County of Denver LLC. Started it in 2018. We're going to get the brightest people to run that thing because I'm only the IT guy. You know what I mean? Where's Giavanni? Oh, he's in the dark mind department, man. Don't even bother going over there because that's just way too much. And in the front army guys that are implementing all of our ideas, they're making the big dollars. Do you know how much our compliance officers make? $300 an hour. Go to Google businessdeveloper.com. And what we do is we migrate all your content, all your information, your YouTube channels. We set you up with all your everything that you need to know about how to make and operate your own metaverse. Because if the metaverse isn't anything, you know, the immersive stuff, that's what they did with Bitcoin. You know, when they came out, oh, we got Bitcoin, blockchain technology is taking over, blah, blah, blah. And when that massive amount of information, you know, back in the day, you couldn't get the computers to index the stuff fast enough. And what I mean is index all, because we moved into voice indexing and typing, where type to voice or voice to type, whatever it is you're using it for, it's all automatic now. Because it's your assistant that is going to protect you. Like my Google's called, I say, hey Google, but its name is Unity. It's a chick, and sometimes it's a dude, and sometimes it's just nothing. It just gives me directions that I need. But it can talk to you in a way to where you need that other person to talk back to you. And this person, which is completely a simulated you. Everything you do, everything you think, everywhere you go, all the people you talk to. Now we have crosstalk indexing where all of our voices are now being indexed on other people's phones. And those that turn off their phones and try to go off the grid, that's probably one of the most scariest things to do. And here's why. If your life happens to be running parallel to an investigation, and they do, believe me, you look at every crime that goes on in 7-Eleven, anybody in that store, their life was running parallel to their crime, and they're closer than anybody else to tell the story about the crime. And then it goes outside that little perimeter, and it goes further out, and then other people come, and they act like because they're reporters, they're telling a story, and they don't talk to the real people that were in the store because they want all the storyline, the tagline. It don't work no more. You got to share. You got to share. It's just the way it is, man. The metaverse and is a sharing community to where you really have to watch yourself. You have to lock down all your social channels now. You have to be careful of those that throttle your information and watch. You know, I used to think it was pretty cool to get a Twitter carousel in my name, and you know, the more I had to use it and everything. And then I started looking at it and I'm like, well, look, I'm getting one or two people to nobody even, you know, what's happening. And then I get those emails. Hey, you know, you can get more views if you pay us, you know, $734 a month. You know, and then, you know, maybe we can get you 4 or 5 more people. You know, there's no guarantee. Remember that. And so you're paying, all these people are paying, and they get these little 20 people here. Just enough to get you going, and then here's what your response. Wow, look at that! I'm starting to get hits, and then it gives you more and more, and then your money goes out, and you go like, yeah, for just another $22 a month, you can now do da da da. It's just like gambling, folks. And so people with apps that have too many, and you got to have an app to tell you that you got too many apps, you're insane. Because it's all going to become to the social credit system scores and rankings.com. All these young cats that are 40, they need guys like me on the team so we can help them control the industry to which they're in, and they're not doing bleed over into other metaverse content or development. And see, it hurts these people's feelings because they want it all. They want, we're the futureverse. There's a thing called futureverse. Go to Google search futureverse Durango Dank. And we've been around for quite some time, folks. In 2006, and we were talking metaverse, and then the financial crisis came, and then we started integrating it into the city and county of Denver. Yeah, see, city and county of Denver. See, that's a non-political platform, and I built it all off um, the code of the Spear Amendment. And because when I went to court on February 6, 2023, and Judge Andrew Luxon, case 23CV54, I actually wrote code within my complaint as if I was an investigator, which I'm not. Well, I am now, but long story. So, anyways, I give them the information, and sure enough, and AI told me which judge was going to be Andrew Luxon because he was a district attorney. There was other ones that had it, but he was the number one guy. So, because when I went in there, I looked at his experiences, and sure enough, his experiences, I created meta tags, and those meta tags, I wrote meta descriptions based off not him, but his craft, his trade, his acknowledgments. Brilliant. And when we were in court, Assistant City Attorney Michelle Horn blasted with glee when I asked about the Spear Amendment that gives the citizens of Denver absolute authority over all these people. We'd be having a meeting, and Mike Johnston, you're out of here. Get the fuck out. Tadpole. He's a tadpole, man. He's a tadpole. Because Denver's, oh my God. If you only knew how beautiful Denver is, because if you've never lived anywhere, you have no other way. And some people don't need to live anywhere because they already know. And so they're hiding in their little bunkers and down in their basements so that nobody comes and knocks on their door. And now we're sacrificing, we're taking entertainment over freedom. I had a gentleman on a deep discussion, and I didn't realize what he was saying until after he kept saying it, and we were talking, and he got, wow. And we are, as long as a person has any food that he wants to eat, as long as he gets a little clothes and gets his rent paid and his electric paid and everything paid, and he's got his entertainment, he don't vote no more. He don't care no more. Because everything that meant anything to him, because we don't encourage anybody to dream build anymore. And so now the wealthiest people in the world that are hanging out at all these cool spots and telling us we need to share with all the poor people when they don't really mean it. They just do it because someone out there is going, oh, they're saving the manatees. I'm going to give them $50 million. So, but I already seen this, folks. So that's why we have City and County of Denver LLC. One of the biggest opportunities that were missed was the City Summits of America. So we wrote content based of just because we were there, and we just made some adjustments so that we could, you can't throw everybody under the bus, and on something like that just because they didn't know. I wrote content as if the governor and Mayor Hancock, they knew of the future of what's coming for the entire North America and South America, and how we're going to now train, once we figure out who's in our country, how we're going to train these migrants that speak the language of where they're from and train them to go back home and teach those people and go back to work, and then pay us back through the money because they're going to get paid good salaries once they start work. See, not everybody has the same laws, folks. That's why we have to, it's not building a Western civilization. It's building common sense and making sure that a person, when he goes into that house or that building, that they're up to code. That is a non-political, non-religion guarantee of one's survival and protection and security, is that that fucking house don't fall on top of you when you're sleeping. Like what happens, when the earthquakes come. And right now, there's, you can pretty much kind of, it depends if you're a believer. If you're a believer in religion and all that, these are the things that you keep to yourself and you just go for yourself. But right now, you have to dream build. You have to pretend that shit's going to happen no matter what. There ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about it. You can pray all you want. Guarantee you, Mark Zuckerberg did not pray to make big dollars. Okay? What he made his mistake is when he said that Facebook is no more and that they're changing the name. And, same with Elon Musk. He used the same identical wording. He even went up on the roof to tear down and put the X, take down the bird and put up the X location here. See, these are billionaires that know that they can manipulate everybody that's on those things to give them as much money as they want, because there's nobody else there to tell these people, hey, man, take your kids in. Don't give them any. Some people are saying devices till they're 16. Man, it's one of them things that I gave to my kids, and I wish I didn't. But I thought it was cute, and it did keep them busy. But I didn't realize how much and how quick they could figure out that phone quicker than me, and they're doing what? But my kids were good. They never went on that kind of stuff that I know of, that I know of. I could have went and put, some people put that stuff on their kid's phone, and you know what? Until they're 18 years old, parents responsible for them, and you have to make damn sure that your kid ain't going to be the one going out and getting that knife and killing somebody or hurting somebody. And that's what I learned in all my relations of everything I've ever done, and the things I've seen, the things I've had to try to tell people, and the way things get twisted the fuck up. But nobody can stop you from being you. Nobody. But what you can do is have your artificial intelligence, your assistant, your Google assistant, whatever you want to name it, you can name it. All that stuff's coming. It's going to be able to tell you things about taking your medicine. You don't even have to, like people go in and try to do those schedules, and, they make it look so easy. But when you get it open up and you look at it, especially if you're ADHD or ADHD, meaning there's so much information there, and then you're dyslexic, chronic dyslexic on top of that. So and the ones that aren't, that got it figured out, they're writing content, do they? And I was able to do it because I believe that artificial intelligence, when you're writing organic content, and the way I write my content, I make it as fouled in the way people are talking. I go and I listen. I run for office. That's how I do things. I listen. I let it get out. I stand out in the cold at 9 degrees, begging below zero, begging people to sign my ballot, while other people have it all fixed and jury rigged up so that they just call their voter rolls and they all come in. And I mean, that's a well-oiled machine. But what's happened is on February 6th, I got that ruling that, that they're not following that law. And Andrew Luxon said, okay, when Michelle Horn blasted with glee, we haven't enforced that law in years. And then Luxon agreed, concurred, told me that I could go and fight it more, but I didn't need to. I won. It took me 13 years to get somebody somewhere at a high location to tell me that the Spear Amendment existed, because up till then, on February 6th, it's been removed from our city charter. It's been removed from other books, but there's still older books out there in the libraries, and I'm sure they've probably got those books. But we got pictures of all kinds of stuff, folks. And I got a 2000 or 1917 city charter book. that told me everything I needed to know about the Spear Amendment. And I didn't get to finish, but the Spear Amendment made us non-political, where our sole purpose, get this, economy and service. Our sole purpose, it's in the law, sole purpose, economy and service. What has Mike Johnston done? He poo-poo plattered all over that. Why he puts his Brill cream in his hair. Yeah, he poo-poo plattered that real good. So that's the number one. That's the number one uh, identifier on that guy, not the Brill cream. Just look at him. When you hear him talk, he's in a he right now when he talks, he's thinking about being governor. And he's thinking about how he can get the media to flip, and the media has no clue. They have no clue, folks. I'm going to tell you, they're going to wake up because they've all been indexed. We can't go on like this anymore. It ain't. You turn on MSNBC and you turn on all these other people, which they're allowed to say whatever they want because it's their, but they're not news agencies because the information they're spewing out is like tabloid supermarket type. Even those have the dignity enough to tell you that the shit's fake. So, but when you're starting to sport that stuff and you're getting shares from people and you got stock and you see where it's coming, folks? It's going to be the biggest fucking crash that any of these people ever seen, and they all could have stopped it. And all the people that are buying these people out there that are selling now because they're starting to get the word out. Because when the shareholders get the word out, boom. But see, my thing is to tell the guys that have the shares that they gotta lighten up. They gotta start being journalists because observers are going to start taking over. Observer Indexer, not the Observer or the Observer or whatever. These are well thought out platforms that have layers and layers and layers and layers of information through Gen AI and just layers and layers of informations and answers and questions for 18 years. So when Mike Johnston comes out, you start seeing he starts to put photo by Mike Johnston. See, he plagiarizes everything he does. He had a thing on my committee was people for a more pragmatic government. All my committees running for mayor. That's 4 elections. You got a year ahead of each one. I think I was 2 years ahead. So 4 times 3, 12, one more is 13. So, and then whatever we're still doing. It doesn't go away. Other people are talking about it. They just don't rank as high as me in their local area because not everybody sees the same thing everybody sees in your area because it's all localized. And if there's no localized, then it goes statalized. Then from statalized, that goes US-ized. And if you're top dog, diggity doo-dog day, then you start taking over everything. And see, that's where the city and county of Denver comes in. Because, see, we're going to be able to create an entry point for every state in the union. We're going to be able to use every capital city because we are a consolidated government as far as our where we live at home, but as far as what our LLC is, it is completely non-political, non-religion, sweat, work, sweat, repeat. I got this on repeat. You got it on repeat? I got Scarface on repeat. Do you have Scarface on repeat? So you see how I go back and forth for these things I do? Because there's other information about Scarface on another video I spoke about with that movie, Spring Breakers. He hit it out of the park, man. Alien hit it out of the park. I think his name's Alien. And all the chicks in that movie. It was a really strange movie, I thought, but I knew chicks like that, surfer chicks, but I knew chicks like that. Anyways, That's the story here, folks. And I'm out of time.